All right, what's up, everybody? We're back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today, I'm going to be giving my 3 biggest winners in free agency. Eventually, I'm going to do a full video grading every single team's free agency, but I feel like there's still a little bit more stuff to do in terms of trades and some little signings here and there. So for now, I'm going to give my 3 biggest winners of free agency so far, about a week in. Thank you guys for the views on the videos in the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Join the membership. If you want to learn more about the membership, there's a video on my channel explaining all of it. You can go back and watch that. Links to my Twitter, TikTok, stuff like that in the description down below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So my first winner of free agency so far is going to go to the Philadelphia 76ers. Of course, they had a lot of money to spend in this year's free agency. And being a team that already has Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, their mission was to go out and try to build a contender out of this team, and they used their money. First of all, their biggest signing, they signed Paul George. They got Paul George on a 4-year, $212 million max contract, also re-signing Tyrese Maxey on a 5-year, $200 million extension. But Paul George, of course, he was the biggest domino in this year's free agency, and the Sixers getting him was huge. Now, how it's going to work out, I don't really know, but just getting him in general, like the idea of getting him is something you can't really blame the Sixers for doing. I mean, with Joel Embiid having his injury problems, Tyrese Maxey emerging, having the chance to go get a third guy like Paul George, a guy that won't really affect Joel or Tyrese Maxey in a negative way, a guy that can, really do good on the perimeter in terms of defensively and offensively, could be a third guy you could consistently rely on and putting him in a good position as a third option instead of being your number one or number two. I think the idea of it alone is just amazing, to get him. And then some other signings, Andre Drummond getting a good backup big for Joel Embiid is a very key part of this team. Eric Gordon is a veteran that at the very least can still get a couple shots for you, getting Caleb Martin on kind of a really good of a contract. He was coming in free agency wanting 15 mil. Sixers only gave him 8, 4 years, 32 mil. A guy that is experienced with the Miami Heat on going on these type of runs, and someone that can come in, space the floor. He's going to give effort defensively. Just a really solid wing. You know what I mean? And yeah, the Sixers just doing all that. Now there's still probably a little bit more to do in terms of filling out the roster and stuff like that. But the core roster the Sixers have now looks amazing. Looks like it can be near the top of the Eastern Conference and compete with the Celtics and the Knicks. And that's all you really want from your GMs, is to go out there and give you a chance and give you the best team possible and try to take risks and try to do all these things to put yourself in the best position to win. And that's what Daryl Morey and that's what the 76ers have done. So I think they are a big winner in this year's free agency. My next winner has to be the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now this isn't all their free agency moves. This probably is more off-season moves because they made the Alex Caruso trade before the draft even happened. But in total, their off-season moves, the Thunder have to be a big winner. The Thunder were the number 1 seed in the Western Conference last year and got better. Like how often does that happen when you're number 1 seed in the West? You're number 1 seed and you get better. Trading for Alex Caruso, only have to give up Josh Giddey, who was losing minutes in the rotation and, was probably going to be forced to come off the bench and all this stuff like that. Getting a guy like Alex Caruso that's going to fit in like a glove. He's one of the better perimeter defender wing guards in the league. He had a really good shooting year out there. He's just going to really fit in and fits more into the game plan with this team. And then going out and signing Isaiah Hartenstein. Did you give him a lot of money? Yes, but at the end of the day, that's what you need. They needed size. That was their big weakness, was size and an interior presence. And Isaiah Hartenstein had an amazing season last year, and he brings a lot of interior presence. And he's also going to fit the style as well. He's not just going to sit in the paint all day and wait. He's a guy that you can do dribble handoffs. He can make the right plays. Can do have the little floater game, protect the rim. Like can do a lot of different things as a big man as well. So you already have an amazing team with Shea, Chet, J-Dub. You also re-signed Isaiah Joe and Aaron Wiggins to pretty nice contracts too. Drafting Nikola Topic at the 12th overall pick that you don't really need him for the first year. Like, they're just doing everything right. Sam Presti is just, he knows how to do this GM thing right. Yeah, if you could see the last couple years. And yeah, they're just building an amazing team there. And honestly, for me, if you ask me right now, they're my favorite to come out of the West. I mean, they already were amazing. And now you add in 2 pieces like Isaiah Hartenstein and Alex Caruso that are going to come in and do wonders for this team. Like, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with next season. So they got to be a big winner in this free agency, just making all the right moves. And the last team I'm going to have as a big winner for agency, there's a couple teams I thought about, but honestly, I'm going to go with the San Antonio Spurs. Now, this is why I'm going to do it. Last year, the Spurs were not good, but they weren't supposed to be good. They were, I think, the 14th seed in the Western Conference, I want to say. And this offseason, they bring in Chris Paul on a 1-year deal, where their big weakness was they don't have a point guard to give Victor Wembanyama the ball. And Chris Paul is one of the greatest point guard distributors in NBA history. So why don't you bring him in under Greg Popovich? Two amazing basketball minds. And Chris Paul is just gonna be able to just teach everybody. He'll be literally be a coach on the court. That's what he is, and he's just gonna have command of the locker room and help all these young guys that they have like Wemby, like their draft picks and stuff, develop. And even on the court with Chris Paul and Wemby, Chris Paul's just gonna throw it up there, and Wemby's gonna go get it. Gonna get an easy 10, 15 points a game just off lob and passes from Chris Paul. Doing that. And then honestly, a move that I think is pretty underrated, but I really like the Harrison Barnes acquisition. They were the third team involved in the DeMar DeRozan signing trade to Sacramento. They ended up walking out with Harrison Barnes, and I think Harrison Barnes is going to fit really well. Harrison Barnes is a Spurs type player. He fits a system. Very professional, does what he needs to do. That's what the Spurs do over there. And now bringing another veteran presence, a guy that's been around the league, played for the Championship Warriors, played in Dallas, got traded a couple times. Has been on good teams, been on bad teams. He's just been, has so much experience. He's going to be able to also feed knowledge as well to some of the young guys, and will be able to come in, and when they need him in there, he could play a really nice role. So I really like those two acquisitions from the San Antonio Spurs. And if we're doing an entire offseason, their draft, Stephon Castle, their draft was amazing as well. Drafting Stephon Castle, the guy they wanted, a guy that I personally think has potential to be the best player in this class, getting him over there, and then even making the trade for number 8 where they didn't have anybody, traded Rob Dillingham and got back 2 first-round picks. 2 first-round picks for a guy that hasn't even played an NBA minute yet. So the Spurs have also, I feel like, have been a winner in this offseason, Now, are these moves going to help them compete for a championship and be a 50-win team? Absolutely not. But these moves are going to be really vital and developmental in the process of what they want to be in the future with Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle and all the guys they have over there. That's what these moves do. These moves are going to be very fundamental, where this year could be huge for the next couple. This could be a move now that could benefit in the long term. You know what I mean? This is what these moves can make. So I think the Spurs did an amazing job in this free agency so far. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, like, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.